The truth of converging powers. The term converging powers is taken out of the things that happen to us in our daily life and all the things that the Father uses in His creation of the world to affect our lives. It means literally that all the things that happen to us are working to bring us to the fullness of Christ. They are things that many times we do not like and things that often we do like. It is simply the Father working in the lives of His children to bring us to the point of our original creation. God created every human to be something for His glory. Sadly, most believers will live and die never knowing God's purpose for their lives, simply because the final gospel is never preached or taught to them. The term all things is used by the Apostle Paul many times, like in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, he says, all things work together for the good to them that love God. While it may be hard for some to take this idea, he is saying that if you love God with all your heart, everything that happens to you, good and bad, is working for you to fit you more perfectly into His purpose for you. Then in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 15, Paul says, for all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of God. These verses are difficult for most believers to accept. It is strange that many believers would rather do the hard work of building their faith to get through hard times rather than trusting that the Father is using our circumstances and situation to bring us to the fullness of the Christ life. One of the great problems believers have is in living within the boundaries God has set for them. All of us have certain places in life where God has placed us. Very often we run from that place thinking we will be better off if we go and do something else. Believers should never make a major love in life except on the Father's terms. Remember where the Father has placed you. You are the missionary serving God in that place. A story of a young man came to a pastor and asked him to pray for him to have a job change. The pastor asked him why, and he said his workplace was full of mean, ugly people that drank and cursed on the job, and he felt out of place there. Then the pastor said, do you realize if you leave that place, you will have removed the only voice of Christ and maybe the only hope some of them will ever have? And the pastor said, when the Father wants to remove you, He will make a way. In the meantime, His grace is sufficient for you. There is a big five grouping of problems that the Father may use in our life. These problems are converging powers, are our psychological problems, our home and family problems, our church and service to the Lord's problems, our physical and health problems, and our relationship problems caused by living in this world. But aside from all this, the Father may have a special set of problems just for those in whom He has a special interest. Converging powers will operate to the end of our earthly journey, but His grace is sufficient in every instance. To God be the glory. God bless you.